it is all part of a very widespread trend, not only by this government, but other governments and other countries in the world, I think, towards saying, the old thing, if you've got nothing to hide, you've got nothing to fear, and why should you worry about the state looking into things? And it's for your own protection. And why are you worried? And it's not going to be a human looking at your bank account. It's going to be an algorithm doing it. So it's actually still private. And there's, I think for me, that's the most worrying thing, is just this presumption that actually very widespread automated surveillance is fine because you're only trying to catch the bad guys. So if you're not one of the bad guys, you've got nothing to worry about. Whereas, I just think on principle that's a problem. But on a practical terms, there are many potential problems. One of them is that these algorithmic systems don't tend to work very well. The Horizon scandal is still trickling on, and that was precisely one where they said, the computer must be reliable, so let's believe the computer. And loads of people had their lives ruined with that. But there's also the thing of, you may look at this government now and say they are drawing the line in the right place about which things are red flags and what is an acceptable level of fraud or error, and how we should treat people who are very poor and on benefits. But you absolutely, once these powers are in place, you have no control over how future governments will use them. And there's always that creep of, well, if it works for this and we work for that. And actually one of the things which I think was possibly in the Big Brother Watch briefing on this is that they've rolled in claimant fraud and claimant error into the same bucket, so that whether you have deliberately set out to game the system and invent relatives that you don't have and make claims for things that are fictional, or whether you simply have been baffled by the system, which is increasingly online and by phone, and you can't just go in and sit in an office and say, I've lost my job and I have no idea how to claim, and have a reasonably friendly human talk you through it. And so you can wrongly declare things, and now you're going to be treated the same as someone who's potentially deliberately defrauding, and this widespread assumption of guilt will go across everybody.